Be ready to change yourself. Be ready to challenge your better self. Know that your mind can develop a passionate winning spirit, but not by yourself. We guarantee your family in love with your life, and you're gonna love all the grind. Lewis and Bars together, we develop your mindset with vitamin C for your mind. Don't you settle with what you know. There's much to learn, there's much to earn. Tell yourself I'm ready to fight, ready to be heard. Out of success and awakening rise. There's so many words that turn into prices. Be ready to change for the best. Step up and be great. Don't be like the rest. Develop your mindset.
All right, Develop Your Mindset podcast. Here we are. We're here today. We have a guest, Luis, with us as usual. We're gonna be interviewing our guest, Jesse. He's very, very interesting person. I really enjoyed having conversation with him earlier, and we decided to really have a podcast show for you guys. And I think we're gonna have really good time hearing his story and what we're gonna have to talk about. So, but today we decided we're gonna have because it's evening time. We're gonna have a little bit of a little moment here, like with our wine and discussing about really interesting and business and develop your mindset type of things. So here we go. We're gonna pour our wine. There we go. We start with that. Start with that.
A lot of wine.
It's a lot of wine.
It's never a lot.
Oh, of course you go a little on your
Right, guys?
How about you?
Who likes wine? If you like
I'm
wine,
right here.
leave it in the comment section below.
Awesome. Yeah, totally. Like,
Leave us your favorite wine name.
yeah. So
We're drinking Montenegro.
for really good time and conversation, and for next 1 hour. All right.
All right. Let's do this.
All right. That's pretty good.
Excellent.
So we're gonna start. We're gonna be asking a bunch of questions, and then we're gonna be asking you some more. I think our first question is gonna be for you is like, tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. So
My background, okay. So my mom's Guatemalan, my dad's Mexican. They both crossed the border.
a little bit louder.
They both crossed the border to become USA citizens,
Awesome.
and now they're both USA citizens. I was raised and born in Northeast LA. I grew up in Highland Park, and I've been living about 22, almost 24 years in LA.
Nice. Did you live anywhere else before this? Before LA?
Yes, I did. I moved around different areas of LA. El Monte, Pasadena. So I kind of explored LA. It's where I was raised and pretty much where I stayed.
Awesome. Do you think about traveling?
Yes, I actually did. I have traveled. I've been to Guatemala, where my mom was born. Different places of Guatemala where the Mayans were. Petén, Lago de Ticlán, and other parts of Guatemala cities.
I hear really good things about that place, but I have not been there yet. I'm like really want to go and visit.
Yeah, it's
the pyramids and everything. Yeah.
It's really beautiful. The culture, there's still people out there that dress as Mayans, and they still follow the traditions, the cultures, and it's different because when you travel, you open a different mindset than when you're in LA and California.
Awesome. Yeah, that's very cool. As far as your childhood, you said you had your childhood basically in LA, in this vicinity, and what was your experience? How did it form you? Like,
I think it formed me as in like it built me up really strong. I had to fail so many times in order to be where I'm at right now. I worked at Smart and Final, been a waitress, had multiple jobs, multiple different careers, went to college, and I will fail as many times. I could probably fail 1,000 times, and out of those 1,000 times, one of those times that I actually became really successful and I started doing really good.
Awesome. So I know that you guys are friends, and
Yes.
Luis is amazing. All everyone Luis that he hangs around with, they're all really cool people. So you guys know each other since you were little kids, right? So
No, we met in high school.
High school.
Well,
we don't go that back.
not little kids, but big kids. So
Like high school kids.
that is very cool.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
you guys still keep in touch and you know,
Yeah.
going at your careers and doing some really good things already. You know, a lot of amazing things coming towards you guys. So that's awesome. And what was that? You know, which high school you guys met? Was it in LA or somewhere else? Like, I know you went to this other high school.
Yeah, it was in East LA, I believe, right?
East
yeah,
LA,
it's in East LA. Yeah, the name of the high school was Bravo Medical Magnet High School.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whoever's watching,
Whoever's watching, I went to Bravo Medical Magnet High School.
You definitely know me and Luis.
Yeah. You definitely
Comment
know
down
who we are.
below.
Comment down below. Leave a like. You know what's up. Do the rest.
That's awesome. So my next question will be like, I know you said where you work already, but like, why did you get that job? When you decided to go do that job, and was it something necessary to do it, or was it you were looking for something else to get out of that kind of environment, that job?
To be honest, I as a person, I always try to grow and become stronger, not only as a person, but also in my mindset and also physical wise. Like back then, I used to be skinny. I used to be like 165, and I would lift
Wow.
weights and train hard. And I remember that it took me a while to be at where I'm at, and over time, like what? I had many jobs. Some of the jobs I did work were a waitress, and then I hated my job. Like I didn't want to be here. It was like a 9 in the morning to like 10 p.m. and I was like, oh, I don't want to be here no more. You know, like I got to do something better. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to college, go to school, try to get my degree, and I got my criminal justice degree, and then I became a private investigator, and I worked as an undercover. And to that point, I was like, I'm not making enough money. I'm working for someone, but I'm not making enough money. And then I noticed that one of my friends, he had no high school diploma, never graduated from college, and the dude was doing good. He was like, I'm like, what? You never went to college? You never, you know, like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a broker. Like, I do insurance. Like, do you need a degree for that? He's like, no, you don't need a degree. So I was like, wait. So I was like, do you need a degree? Like, wait, how do you make so much money, way more money than me, and you don't even have a degree? And he's like, you don't need a degree. Like, you just literally have to know knowledge and experience and build yourself up. And, you know, I was like, you know what? I want to try that. I want to try what you're trying to make money, you know? So then I did that, and I left my private investigator job, and then I went to become a broker and sell insurance. And then I worked for a company called CGI Agency. And the reason why I got into that company was because one of my friends that I was working with, I went to school with him to take the state test to become a broker. And we were just talking. He would come with his glasses to school, and I'll be there like. And the thing about it is that then later on I got my license, and I started noticing, what, you know what, I should have just done this since the beginning. So technically, like I went to college. I went to college, and I felt like I spent. I'm not saying college is not bad for you, because you gain knowledge out of it. Everyone's opinion is different, but my personal opinion is I gained some knowledge out of college, and I learned many things. But I felt that I didn't need to go to college in order for me to succeed in life or open my own business or try to achieve what I want.
So one thing you said very interesting is if I knew before getting into insurance company business, you would have done it early on.
Oh,
But you know how life is, like it always prepare you to the next thing, right? Whatever the next thing is coming for you, it's gonna be because of the insurance company that came to you, right? So it's always like the life is preparing you to the next level, to the next step. When you start working on Smart and Final, you couldn't see the world in any other light, in any other way. So at that time, that's what your capability was, and then that's what you saw, that's what you did, that's what you understood, and then eventually you learn. Did you learn anything in that Smart and Final? Whatever you did, what did you got stuck in one place, or like did you like do different departments, or what did you learn there that prepared you to the next level?
Yeah. So technically, what happened was that I was working at Smart and Final. I was like, you know what? I saw people. I started off as a service clerk, cleaning restrooms, doing go bags, putting things, the customers items that they won't buy, I would have to put them back. So I was like, when my manager would be like, Jesse, go bags, and I was like, oh, okay, hopefully it's one or two. When I went back, there was like probably 100 items that customers didn't buy, and they just left them there, and I have to put them back now. And I was like, you know what? Well, it's my job. I'm gonna give it my 100, and I'm gonna do my best at what I do at my job. Always give it my best. Always give it my 100, no matter what. But I noticed that over time, I was like, okay, you know what? Now let's try to succeed and go a little bit higher. So then I became a cashier, then I became a key holder, then I became an assistant manager, and then I was gonna become a manager, but then that's when I kind of realized, like, wow, I worked here for 4 years, and I feel like I'm not getting treated right. Like the pay, and I bust my butt so hard. I don't want to say the other word, but I busted my butt so hard, just to sick, just to get where at that place, try to become an assistant manager, and then like all that work, and I built it, and I feel like I feel like I could have done more, and that's when I kind of realized, you know what, I have to try something else. So then I was like, you know what, there might be something else out there better for me besides working for a corporation.
Totally. Did you ever go visit him?
I didn't actually. I didn't know he worked at Smart and Final. But here's an interesting question, because I'm sure many of the viewers out there may have jobs like these. They're working at Smart and Final, or these jobs that are, they're not treated as they should be. They're not valued for what they do. So what would you say to those people? Like, how is it that you were still able to, you still had that mindset of hustling in a job like that? You still wanted to move up instead of just, kind of having this mindset where you're kind of just like, you know what, I don't care, I'm just going to do what I'm told. I'm not going to really push to be better. So what?
The reason why I kind of opened my mind was because I would work for them every day. I would wake up early in the morning, go to work, to give it my 100, and I wasn't really receiving. I was more giving than receiving. And I noticed that a lot of people that I had some friends that left the job, and I'm like, hey bro, like, how's it going? Like, oh, it's going way better. Like, I found a better job. Or I found something else better. So the thing about it is that people are scared to leave their jobs. They're scared to leave a job because they're so comfortable in their job, and sometimes you got to get out of your zone. Some people are like, you know what, if I quit my job, how am I going to pay my bills? How am I going to survive? How am I going to eat? And what people don't notice is that when you fail and you try something new out of your comfortable zone, you might find something better. Better and something, or some people sometimes don't want to take risks because they're like, you know what, I don't want to take this risk. But when you take those risks, believe it or not, it's gonna go really good. And sometimes, I'm not gonna tell you, I felt many times, like, it's when I lift weights. I used to lift weights. And I was stuck at 2 plates for one point. I'm like, oh, I can't go past this. I was stuck and I kept going for 1 year. I was stuck at 215. I was like, what the heck? And I was like, you know what? And I will fail, and I will fail, and I finally hit 315, and then 405. And then the reason is not to give up. Because once you give up, it's like you're giving up on your dreams.
It's over.
Yep.
Totally.
Nice.
So what you're describing is like we all have in life. There are times and moments where we have breakthroughs. Those breakthroughs teach you so much, and when you have that, when you get to the other side, it's always another struggle. Another new place that you have to hustle, grind, and succeed in that place. Because back where you were, you did that. You kind of graduated. You had a breakthrough moment, and so how do you explain that? Like when you have breakthroughs, how do you see it? Like how do you treat those moments?
Sometimes what I will do is always think positive. Always think positive. Even though people will be like, oh, you know what, you shouldn't do this, or they'll give you negative comments. I always think positive, try to do positive things, and anything negativity, I will try to push it away.
Totally.
And try to stay positive
Awesome.
all the time, There'll be times where like the negativity will try to get to me, but I was like, no, stay positive, and the crazy part about it is that when I was in high school, a lot of people didn't know I was 11 plus. Well, I was behind in high school because people were already going to stage, and I would go late class, and the reason why is because my mom had stage 4 cancer, and I had to take care of my mom while my dad was working. So a lot of people were like, I would not show up to class. So I was really behind, a year behind in my class, and it was senior year already, and everyone was already ready to graduate, walk on stage, and I'm like 1 year behind. Well, people were like, oh, what happened to you, man? Like, you've been gone for a year. Like why you're not gonna graduate on stage, And what people didn't realize that during those harsh times, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna graduate on time, because I put behind my mind, I'm gonna stay positive. So I will do adult school. So meanwhile, my dad will get off work, and my dad will go take care of my mom. I will be going to night school, going to adult school.
Wow.
And people were like, people usually go to school in the morning and afternoon, but they didn't see the struggle behind that I will go to school at nighttime. And then when they saw me on stage, they're like,
wow,
dude, you didn't show up to school for a year and you're on stage and you're graduating?
That's crazy.
And then they're like, how did you do it? How did you graduate? And you were gone for 1 year. And some like only my close friends wouldn't know that my mom was sick. They didn't understand what was going on at the time with me. And even a teacher, one of my teachers gave me a fail because I would show up late. And it's funny because meanwhile he was giving me a fail, I was taking an adult school at night with an A. So when he saw me on stage, his name was Mr. Chavez. I don't know if you remember.
I think
So Mr. Chavez,
I knew who he was.
he calls my name. He's like, Jesse Ortiz, and he looks at me like, what are you doing on stage?
Wow.
And then the principal just looks at him like, that's my boy right there. And then I got my diploma and I was really happy, and a lot of people were amazed, like what did he do? Did he pay off the principal, or what's going on? So a lot of people were surprised about that.
It's so easy to give up.
Yeah,
so easy. That's the first thing everyone goes for. It's so hard to hustle, grind, and put the target goal in your mind, go after it. It's so difficult. That's why your story is amazing, because how many people did that year?
It's crazy,
that I know.
You know what I mean? Like it's right there. So if you continue that, you're gonna be very successful.
Thank you.
So many levels: family, business, friendships. With people, with whatever you want to do in life, because that's a quality that you. It's a learning process. You learn that quality. Also, you train that quality that you keep inside of you. You don't change. It's so easy to drop that also, but like that's very awesome, very nice. I hope whoever has the chance to watch this get a little bit of that. It's so important.
I didn't even know that. Like I'm just as surprised as you guys are here watching this. That's crazy.
Well,
that's quite a one.
When we had talked to
with
each other, you didn't say that, but that's such a powerful, amazing thing.
It is.
Really
amazing. It really is.
So. There's so much I can still ask you about all that, but I want to move on to this other thing where you already said a little bit of it, but I know you work with you were in a program of policing, and you went through all that journey, and I don't know how long you did it exactly, but like what you did was amazing. You know, we had a little bit of talk, and if you can like kind of say how you did what you did, how amazing it was, your experience, then maybe we can like talk about that. A little
Okay,
bit.
yeah, definitely. So when I first I was going later on. I quit my Smart and Final job and I tried different jobs. I was like, okay, let's try something different. I got my guard card and I became a security guard. I worked as a security guard and started moving different levels up. And then I worked for Sectron, the guys that come and pick up the money with the gun.
Oh yes.
And I did that too.
Cool.
I did all types of security. I did it for events. I also did security for movies, motion pictures. That was the best because when they'll have like movie sets, you'll get to eat. They'll have like a buffet, and, and you know what? But the thing about it is that I was gaining weight.
They'll
have it like they'll have the catering, and you're like you'll be the first ones to eat on set. You know, like before the actors and everything, because then you have to go back to your post.
Oh, okay.
So you'll be the first ones, and the thing about it is really cool that I started building up, and I was going to school at the time. You know, I was going to college. Then later on, I became loss prevention. Then after loss prevention, I got my associate's degree in criminology, and I became a private investigator. When I became a private investigator, it was really fun because I got to arrest people, you know, for petty theft, grand theft, robbery, battery, assault, different crimes that they committed, you know. And the thing about it is that it was really fun, but it was really dangerous. Like, you know, sometimes we will have to, like, you know, sometimes I will kind of be sad because I will have to make an arrest because some guy stole some food from like a Whole Food, or saying he stole some clothes from like, you know, like a super as fast as it is, you know. And the thing about it is that my boss would be like, well, he has to go to jail, it's petty theft, you know, he stole something. And I was like, but the food's worth like $10, you know. And
yeah.
And technically, grand theft, anything above $1,000 is considered grand theft. So it's considered a felony. Anything that you steal above $1,000 is considered a felony. Anything you steal below $1,000 is considered petty theft. And it could be from clothing brand to shirts to earphones, depending on what you steal, you know. And the guy was stealing food, and I was like, am I gonna have to book him because he stole some food to eat? So I was in that position where like I don't want to arrest him because, you know, the guy was hungry, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like, you gotta understand. My boss was telling me, you gotta understand, it's your job. You know, that's what you get paid for. And I was like, what? And I was like, so that's kind of like, and then people that did deserve to get arrested, you know, like they'll be selling drugs in the street, and my job would be like, hey, you know what? How much are you selling the ounce for? And then we will go, and later on we become friends, and then they raid the whole place. And then like, they'll arrest me, turn me around, release me, because they don't want to say that you snitched on them, because then imagine their family are powerful people.
Shit.
They're going to come after you, you know? And it's pretty interesting, because a lot of people were like, man, like, are you a bounty hunter, or what are you? Because I was dressed as a regular person. I was actually an undercover, but I was working with law enforcement as a PI, as a private investigator. But certain places, like when you go into houses or buildings, you need warrants to go in. And as a private investigator, you don't need that because you're an informant. An informant could get evidence and use it against you in court without getting warrants. So that's the thing about law enforcement. So sometimes law enforcement doesn't want to mess with certain people because those people are really powerful people. And think about it, if you raid their house and you find nothing and you get a warrant, well, guess what's going to happen? You're going to lose your job. So they send the private investigators to do the dirty work, and then they take all the credit. So it's pretty interesting.
Wow. So, yes, I understand what you're saying. It's very dangerous. I guess somebody has to do it.
Yeah.
That part I understand too, to keep our streets a little bit sane and clean. As far as goes, what you're saying about these people stealing food to eat, it's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
We're in a first world country, and people stealing $10 food to eat, it's insanity. There's I don't know what to say about that. It's like unbelievable.
And imagine, think about it, that you have to arrest him because he's hungry. So that's the sad part about it. But technically, I didn't want to do it, but it was a forced to because it was my job. You know, if my boss would have been there, we're like, hey, you know what, turn around, go ahead, leave. You know, like it's food, you know. But it's whatever the boss says, and there's rules and laws that people have to respect.
So, on the other hand, you're telling us 5 minutes ago about your story. You had to go night school to graduate with honor and with diploma and everything. So what's going on? Like, how do you see this? Because you are hustler, you pusher, and then you wanna get the shit done, you know, and then looking at these people, yes, you're feeling sad for them and all that, but they're not doing what you did.
Yeah.
They're not pushing themselves whatsoever at all, and they rather go to the easy way. And I don't know, like, how would that turn into, like, you think you would that turn, that kind of person starts with $10 food turn into I don't know, maybe like doing something bigger, crazier?
I learned that everyone's story is different. Everyone has their own story to tell, you know. Everyone has their own, it's like, I can't put myself in your shoes, I can't put myself in his shoes, because everyone has their own story, has, you know, a way they live life. But one thing that I had to learn is that never judge no one, because I've seen people that been homeless, had no money, are now millionaires. No, I
totally.
You know, like,
there's a lot of
stories.
Yes.
And you know what? Like, that's what something I learned. Like, you know, you might never know that homeless person you helped out, he hits the lottery and he becomes a millionaire. You never know, you know.
Yes.
And that's one thing that I learned. You should never judge no one. What I noticed, a lot of people, that certain people, like, when they this is me personally. Like, you know, I like to go out. I like to have fun. You know, I like to enjoy my life, you know. People care about what other people think about them. Like, say an example, right? You have an idea, right? And you want to, and when people's negativity gets to you, like, oh, it's not going to work out. I don't think it's going to be successful.
Yeah.
That's what gets to people. And in reality, you shouldn't care what other people think, because at the end of the day, is they're not paying your bills. They're not helping you out. How they're helping you out? You see what I'm trying to explain to you? A lot of people, when you bring their opinions and negativity toward you, it will affect you. So what I learned is only positive.
That's why we have a sign, no negativity, in the office. Exactly. With the 10xer group here, you know, team.
Nothing but positive in here, you know. Like, you don't want, you know, even if it's a small idea, positivity. You don't want, because any negativity, it's gonna affect you, you know, like, in the long run. You don't want people like that. You don't want people in your life, or certain people, like, you know, say an example, like, I want to start a business, and there's people out there that not gonna, maybe not support you. They're like, oh, I don't think it's gonna work out. Like, you know, you don't need those people. You never know. 10 years from now, your business might be a $1 million company, or $2 million company.
Totally.
Know? So it's like, the whole point is not to give up, though. Not to give up, because the time you give up, that's when everything, pretty much everything you fought for will lose. So you got to keep going.
There's you know, not only owning a business will make you a millionaire. There's a lot of stories out there. People retired $30 million, $100 million while they were part of a company. But when I say part of a company, that means they helped that company to grow $1 billion or hundreds of millions of dollars, and themselves they made their millions of dollars. Disney, when this guy passed away, his maid, she had $3 million in her account, and she had paid off big house and cars. Kids went to college, everything. This was the maid. Imagine all the managers and the CEOs and you know, board members and you know, what they all made so much money.
Yeah.
So, like, you need a lot of people to create any kind of company. It's not one person, five people, not going to do it. So entrepreneurship, they both have such a, like, great place in our society. You know,
Yeah.
so now you're already you know at your age you're already our CEO. You're experiencing all the difficulties and all the you know
Yeah, I still got a long way to go.
to clean messes and to take the fault on you
Yeah,
if it
exactly.
wasn't even you
Yeah.
and all that. It's a lot of responsibility. Not everyone's caught up for it, but
Yeah.
like if you can, how much you can handle, how long you can handle the stress
Exactly.
until you're like, oh, I need a break.
But then at the same time, I do know that if that company does good, I'm gonna do good.
And
Yeah.
because of you, the company's
Yeah,
gonna do good.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, later on we're gonna franchise, expand, and it's
Of
gonna be
course.
like, think about it. We're gonna be the whole point is you go worldwide. You're like, you're all over the place. You know, so
It's every day companies going worldwide.
Yeah.
It's nothing new. We're not going to be the first or the last.
Exactly.
You know, if you work, put the work, it's going to happen.
yeah.
That's it. Organization and work. So we're gonna get to those kind of questions. Before that, I wanna, if you guys can see him in the video, he's big. His hands are big, shoulders, everything. So we're gonna ask him like, is workout necessary?
Yes, it is. That's a really important thing. You know,
I used to be, but like,
I think making
I gotta work on it.
making the gains is really important. The reason why I say it is because it helps you in many ways. It helps you help with your health. That could
Yes.
be one of them. The second, another one, it can help you out when everyone has your own way of getting away from the world. Stress, exactly.
Okay.
Stress is the correct word to say. My way of getting away from stress, and you know, I don't have to answer my phone. I don't have to. My brother calling me. When I'm in the gym, I'm putting in my earphones and I'm working out and I'm pushing iron. I'm hitting 215 on the bench. You know, that's where I could be like. My mind is like, I'm in a different world, you know. Like I'm working out, and I know that I don't have to worry about business. I don't gotta worry about like, hey, you know what? You forgot these paperworks, you know, like the signatures, and I know that I'm in my own little world, and I'm happy because that's the only time I get away from everything, you know. Like it's like The Rock, you know, The Rock.
Yes.
He wakes up at 5 a.m.
Yeah.
He works out before he goes to set. Before he goes to
what time do you work? Wake up?
to be honest, I started working up at 5 a.m, but later on I was like, well, too much. I'm gonna go after I get off work. Like, so I do it towards.
I used to go after.
Yeah,
too.
yeah. So now I go after I get every time I go get off work, I go to the gym and I work out.
But like now that I study a lot of people, also my body is getting a little bit aging, and I understand what I used to do wasn't healthy. So what I would tell you is like the best way is to work out in the morning, because when you sleep, your brain is clear. All organs and everything is filtered.
Yeah.
Everything's clean. You are the best shape that your body could be.
Okay.
When you're pushing yourself that hard, it's always good to like do it in the morning, because your body is the best shape it could be than the rest of the day. Especially end of the day, your body's sluggish because you're
tired.
You're tired because you use your brain, your heart, your liver, your kidneys, everything so much that it's a lot of dirt, dead blood, everything is accumulated, needs to be filtered.
Definitely.
So that's why it's good to do in the morning.
And the thing about it is, it's the hard part, waking up. Waking up is the hardest part for me. But it's a lot of discipline too, you know.
It's a discipline,
yeah,
totally. Like all you have to do is sleep early. Pretty much, that's it. You know. Do you watch TV?
Personally, it's rare when I do watch TV.
Yeah.
I don't really watch TV, but I'm always say I'll watch a movie with my little sister or like Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
But I hardly watch TV. I'm always working or
Awesome.
at the gym.
I like that.
Nice.
Yeah. So, do you have anything?
Learning a lot from him, man. Learning a lot from you, man.
It's
Good
My
stuff,
workout
good
necessary
stuff.
was really good.
Yeah, yeah. The workout.
Goals. What kind of goals do you have? Like, do you have goals already written down? Do you write things down? Do you
I do have.
read your writings? Come back and read them? What kind of goals do you have?
I have my goals. One of my biggest goals, and it's kind of a little bit. It's my goal that I'm trying to accomplish. So I'm still working on it. It's trying to retire by 36. Now, then retire means be steady, be stable. Maybe open about 3 companies and just let the companies work,
Cash flow.
and just have cash flowing. You know.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm 26 right now, but during these years of my 20s, I'm trying to do the most I can to achieve by the time I get 36, be set. That's one of my goals, and if I can accomplish that, then maybe at 45, just different. But once I set my goal, I do it. And
The thing with that is life has a lot of curveballs.
exactly.
5 times I had to start over again.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the plan. The beginning plan, there was none of that. But then when it happened, you had to sit down and kind of like be like, okay, should I self-sabotage, give up, or should I continue and do better? And how can I do it better this time?
Yeah.
And then this time. Sometimes it's out of your hand. You probably in 5 years you're probably gonna marry someone. 5 years after that, that person's gonna screw you and walk away. You don't know what's gonna happen. I'm just saying.
No. I definitely agree.
You know?
I definitely agree in that
And
part.
then you're gonna watch this podcast. You're gonna be like, I was thinking, I was planning.
Yeah.
But
No,
life is so
yeah,
out of your hands sometimes.
You are right about obstacles, because you're always gonna have obstacles. You never know. I could be driving right now, and next day a car hits me. I could.
Can happen.
I could be taking the bus, and the bus crashes or something. Life's gonna happen regardless. And what I notice is that I don't give up on my goals, because when I set a goal, I try to accomplish it, and like you're right about things will happen eventually. There's gonna be obstacles. Maybe there might be a hot, beautiful girl. Hey, let's get married and have kids, and then what? It doesn't work out the way.
You find out she's sleeping with the
exactly. So that's tough. But you know what I learned a lot about every time that when life hits me with an obstacle, that I love failing. I love to fail, and
that's why you're gonna succeed.
And the reason why I tell people
resilience.
The reason why I love failing is okay, I failed, but watch me make it happen, and I actually do make it happen.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. Like I think because I have failed so much times through my journey, I've been fail. I also used to own a business. I used to have a restaurant.
Yes.
And me and my brother were doing. My mom got cancer. My brother was too busy in the movie entertainment. I was too busy doing work. Well, we sold the restaurant because we're too busy. We can't. When you have a restaurant, you have to be there 24/7.
It takes a lot of work.
A lot of work, exactly.
Not for a big money, but a lot of work.
Work, exactly. So I done, and you know what? What I learned from that, no restaurant. And a restaurant is not meant for me.
Yeah,
it's not. It's too much work. Too much.
You cannot be the chef when you have a restaurant. You will not make money. There's no money being chef.
Yeah.
Unless you're way up there, you're perfect, you did your 30 years of chef, blah, blah. I don't know. It's a crazy time. So let's move on to the next. That was awesome. How did you stumble on the insurance industry? What was it that pulled you in? Like, how you chose that industry?
Well, the thing about it was that my friend was working in there, and he was making a lot of money. He had no high school diploma, had bad credit, and he passed. And I was like, but it's funny because when I first met my friend, he used to have tattoos, like walking in the street, and then
these days, people, like so many entrepreneurs, they have tattoos up to their neck. They're making hundreds of millions of dollars.
And you'll be surprised because I was like, out of nowhere, I saw him with tuxedos.
It's so different now.
With tuxedos, with a long sleeve, and
man.
dressing. And I look at him like, whoa, man, what are you doing? Are you a drug dealer? or what are you doing? Why are you making so much? Like, no, I'm a broker, bro. They're like, a broker? Like, what do you mean broker? Like, I do insurance.
You breaking people?
He's like, I sell auto insurance, commercial, life, house. And he told me, like, at first, like, there's so much, everyone's insured. He even told me when the Great Depression happened, during World War II and World War One, guess what never went away? Insurance. Even everything went bankruptcy. Even the stocks where you put insurance was up here. And even during World War One through World War Two, your insurance was always up here.
Yep, totally. How did you get from being, employee in that company to CEO? We know that you're the CEO of that company now.
The reason why is because I started off. It was me and my friend. So my boss worked with a $1 billion company already. It was Farmers and Progressive. Alliance United and Infinity are bought by the same owner, but it's just two different categories. One's more for Hispanic, and the other one's more for white. They still do business, but it's technically by the same owner.
Are you serious?
Yes, and a lot of people don't know that because they're like, "Oh, you know what? I got Farmers." It's like, Farmers is like, okay, you got. And then you hear, "I got Infinity," and they're by the same owner. They're just competing against each other. So it's pretty much people don't know that. It's like I tell supermarkets.
That's insane.
Like I tell people supermarkets, like Super A, and I forgot what other company. I also noticed that some of them are owned by the same owners, but they just compete. Like when you see Norgate, you go Norgate, like it's more for Hispanic. Like Norgate is for Hispanic people, Mexicans. Technically, people that shop there are Hispanics. But when you hear kind of like Super A, and some of them are owned by the same owner, but they just compete against each other. And that's how it is. That's how it is for insurance. And in insurance, the way it works is that some companies, like Alliance United, just became Camper. It's a company. They're still working, building their way up. But technically, every company has contracts with even small agencies. So, say, example, you can have your own insurance office here if you wanted to, and the only thing you're gonna have a contract with Alliance United and Farmers, whoever you want to sell with. You want to sell with Infinity, you want to sell, but technically, you can even say your company would be the jewelry insurance. But people are like, "What? I never heard of jewelry insurance." What? I heard of State Farm, but not jewelry insurance.
Yeah.
But you work with State Farm. You work with Infinity. You provide them the same thing, but with the same companies.
So, I want to ask you one more time about this CEO because it's very it's that point where you chose to be this person. So like my thing I want to know is like when you go to work, do your people call you as a CEO?
Okay.
Or do you represent yourself as a CEO? How do you this role? How do you play this role?
So the way it started was that like I was explaining about the Farmers and Infinity. My boss got bought out because the company wanted to do something, so he got bought out, and for 7 years, my boss was not allowed to open another company. Mm-hmm. So after the 7 years, today, December, the 7 year finishes.
Ends.
And when we got hired, like my boss told me, you, and you are gonna be the founders of this company. And I was like, well, what's so special about us? What's so special about us? And his name is Julio. That's the owner of the company. His name is Julio. And I was like, what's so special about it? And then he told our story. I got bought off for 7 years. If not, I would have been expanded already. I would have been making money. I've been doing this for so many years, he told me. But the reason is because I got bought off by more. I used to run 600 companies. And I used to be the CEO of those companies. And like, you telling me that I can't make $1 million company, but I got bought off. So now 7 years have passed. I'm here to come back and conquer. So now the 7 years passed, and then he made each of us a founders. But later on, that's where the competition began, and who does the more sales. And I became one of the top sellers.
Awesome.
So when I became one of the top sellers selling insurance, he was like, you know what? He told me like this: either you want me to open the company, I put everything, put everything you want, and then just take interest from there, or you get the money and we open another company. But he's like, you're going to LA, you're going to West Covina. These 4 people that you guys started with me, because his company was collapsing. When we were getting there, his company was collapsing.
Oh, I see.
And he wasn't doing so good, And when we got there, we're like, oh, we're all a team here, You go up, we go up. So we started building it.
But he did the right thing. He
Yeah.
made you guys a partner, and you're gonna feel this. I'm part of this.
Yes, this company, and I get treated right, like every time we sell like certain, food for all of us, we have bonuses, and the thing about it is that there's people that were going to his company and they were getting hired, and they're like, nah, you know what, your company is not. Like I think I could go to a better company, and they will do that. They will like leave, probably he had like 2 or 3 other employees that used to work there, and they don't work there anymore. And the thing about it is because they give up, pressured, give up.
Same thing here in my company.
Yeah, and the thing about it is that to this point right now, for ours, December is like this. Once it hits January,
Awesome.
it goes up. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, and then when it hits November, it goes like this. It's like the stock market. It goes up. Insurance stock market goes up like this, and then November, December, it doesn't go down. And it goes like this.
Nice.
So he's like, it's time. And the thing about it is that I learned so much. I learned experience-wise, because when I went to go apply for jobs at first.
So my next question is, I think I should ask you the question because you're on that question. Do you have a coach or mentor?
That one's a hard one. I do right now. I consider my boss as one of my mentors because everything I learned was because of him. He told me never give up. Always. Technically, I was always my own mentor, or I'll look up at motivation videos, on the YouTube.
Nice.
There's so many out
There's
there.
so I was like, man, all these people are negative. All these people, all these people are negative. And when and it's crazy because then I forgot one of my friends one time was like, hey, look, here's this guy out, and he would put a motivation video. So every time I go to the gym, now I put a motivation video.
What was your favorite?
There's a lot of them. But I hear a lot of them. But there's one that talks about failure, like about how he was talking about how he failed more than 1,000 times, and then out of those 1,000 times, he finally succeeded. So failure is important.
What's his name?
I forgot his name. Him. But there's a lot of them out there, and I hear different stories. And different, and you know what? This is I want to be this guy, I want to be like this guy, and some of them are different stories. Some of them are sadder stories than other stories, and there's different stories, and that's what I motivate myself, and I try to do better myself every time.
Awesome. That's as a human mind, we have to develop ourselves all the time. That's why we call the podcast "Develop Your Mindset," because when we first started, me and Luis were talking. He's asking me all these questions. I'm like, listen, I always talk about developing myself. I always talk about developing mindset. I realized that that's what I want to call the podcast because it's so true. Because each time you fail, you have to come back. How do you come back? You have to learn more. You have to learn what was it that failed you, right?
Yeah.
So it takes this development. There's that time to you're developing yourself, your mind, to like face that situation, that time, because that's always going to come back.
Yeah.
If you don't have the tool how to or have the eye and the intuition to see that coming to you, it's going to be really difficult. You could fail again on the same thing. It's like taking a test, right? Like Second,
failed
if you
it.
you didn't learn again, you didn't learn, and then you're gonna fail again in the
Yeah.
same task. It's not gonna make a difference. So
Yeah.
business, life itself, it's exactly that too.
Learning.
You know, it's all about learning. We all was born with a clean slate, and you have to start, like learning your habits, your behaviors, your
Yeah.
everything. So, and you have to be careful where you're learning from and what you're learning, what you're believing in, because in the end, those are gonna either help you to become the better version of you, or it's gonna help you to end up in jail. You know, like you're gonna. So it's very crucial,
Yeah.
very important. All those things. So I'm gonna move on how much influence did failing have on your, on your life so far?
A lot. I had to fail so much times, and it actually made me a stronger and better person.
Nice.
Awesome.
Stronger and better person. And I also learned so much. Like you said, you learn from the failures. You
Yes.
learn a lot
Let
of
me ask you: is there like a specific mindset that you use in order to convert failure into something that you can use to your advantage to grow yourself? Because not a lot of people see it that way. They fail and then they kind of go into this state of depression and sadness, and they just don't want to continue. So, what kind of mindset do you operate by?
The one I say is, I had kind of like, I had to learn this to prove myself. I prove myself to myself, not to anyone else, to myself. And some people do it to prove it to other people, and you shouldn't be like that. It's to prove it to yourself and try to become a better person than you were the day before, And no matter times like how hard I fell, like it's like, I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna keep going and keep going. And to be honest, I felt like the more times I fell, the more I got closer to where I want to be at. So it's like if I fell 100 times, I'm closer to where I want to be at. And it's crazy because when I first started, I hated failing. I hated like I will fail, and I was like, oh man, like screw this, I don't want to do this anymore. I give up. I give up.
Yeah.
And I was like, what? Like, am I gonna give up this easy? And then I was like, I will fail again, I'll fail again. And then every time like I will fail, I felt like I became stronger, and I would learn from my mistake, and to the point where like I was like, you know what? I finally achieved what I wanted. And then I'm like, okay, let's try to achieve another thing. And I will fail, and I will fail, and I will fail, and I will fail, And then I was like, keep going. I kept going, I just don't give up. Because I feel the biggest thing people do is give up. And once you give up and you lose hope, that's where you're going to go.
The biggest thing people say
That's right.
that keeps them behind is, I don't have money to start business. I don't have money to buy this. I don't have money to start my idea. They don't realize, they don't understand that it's not the money brings money. Very short, I had a client. She wanted to open a company. She's very, very rich. She opened a company, a large company, jewelry, clothing, shoes, belts and everything, all kinds of. After $10 million spent in 4 years, she closed the company down. If the money was going to make money, how come she failed? it didn't make money.
Yeah.
We make money because we put value out. People want insurance. You bring them, you explain to them why this is good for you, and then when they buy that, you just represent the value. And you do closing, and then they pay the money for it, and they sign a contract for it, not even. So you start receiving money every month. This is how money is created, by creating value, right? Not because you have money to make money. I hear this all day long, every time, and I'm like, you're out of your mind if you think money is gonna make money in your wildest dreams.
That is true. I agree with that, because the reason why is because my mom told me this. My mom's really smart lady. She told me there's people that want to start big, and it's all the way around. You gotta start off small, and then build.
have big dreams, have big ambitions, have big goals, and have big systems set up,
Yeah.
and start from here.
Yeah, exactly.
And grow in your system.
Exactly.
You know?
And a lot of people want to start big, you know, and
That's one of our struggle. We're trying to build our system big,
yeah.
and we're still working on it. And we're pretty good, but there's room to grow.
Yeah.
You know. So well, once we grow the system, I think the company will grow accordingly. You know. So that's the pretty much where everyone's tripping and everyone's not understanding
Yeah.
how money is being created. You know.
It's like I have people, like employees that come in that are new, you know, we hire and to like near sold insurance, and then I tell them, you know, have that client, and the client walks away. He's all like, well, I don't know why did he want to buy, because in first place, insurance, the value is me.
If you're in the insurance business, if you sell insurance, pay very close attention, because he's about to tell you exactly how to make sure you don't let any client run away from you without buying your insurance. Right?
Exactly.
You're
So
gonna lose one,
Look at
right?
the
So,
camera.
So what's it called? It's every customer is important, because every lead's important, because every lead is gonna give you money, right? And it's the value is yourself. So when I first started selling insurance, I would not sell insurance. My boss was losing, like, I would let like 8 customers walk away, and my boss was burning leads. And like, he's like, you don't even have to charge a broker fee. You're like, yeah, you know, you're just insuring them. And it's funny because that's how you start off, and that's how you gain experience. But there's certain ways to sell insurance, and we were taught how to be a good salesman. And one of them is like, let me give you an example, right? So say you come to my office and you need insurance, right? So this is what we learned. Learn how to qualify a client. Qualify the client first. So I ask you, do you have insurance right now?
Yes.
Yes, you do. And who do you have it with, if you don't mind me asking?
Stay Farm.
State Farm. Oh, okay, State Farm. They're good company. So how do you have full coverage or liability with them?
I have full coverage.
And how much are you paying with them right now for full coverage?
$200.
$200. So if I get it, will you be interested in switching with us if I get it for you at $150
Of course, I'll be interested.
for State Farm or a different company?
I don't mind.
Okay. So an example, you know, I beat the price. We work with many companies. He liked me. One thing is that he has to like you. If he don't like you, he's not gonna buy off of you for
Yeah.
sure. You know,
Yeah.
that's one of the things. And you gotta qualify him. The reason why is because he told me the price. How much were you paying? Said with
200.
200, right? So now I know what I'm dealing with. Like, so if he told me the
You
price,
qualified.
so I qualify him for 200. So if I know if I could find a company that could beat that price for the same coverage, he's gonna want to change with me. You
Yeah.
see? But now I say I wouldn't qualify him, and I'll be like, "Do you want insurance?
I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Who do you have? What company you're working with right now?
I don't have insurance.
You don't have. Well, you know what? That's bad, because then it's $1,000 ticket, and you know you don't want to get your car to get towed away.
Then I need insurance. How can I purchase
You know
one?
how could you purchase one? Okay, I will help you out. I'll be. Did you have insurance in the past?
Yes, I had.
Oh, okay, so let me help you out. We have this one. This one's for 300. This one's for 200, and this is for 500. Are you interested in buying insurance with me?
I can offer 200. Afford. I mean,
200.
yes.
So what did I do wrong? I didn't qualify him. I didn't ask him how much he was paying before in the past. You see, if I would have asked him 200, and I would have been like, okay, now I know in my mind that I gotta beat 200. So if I go to 150, 130, he's gonna want to buy it off of me.
Right.
And you know what? Like, I'll be like, can I get you a glass of water? And then you know what? You make them sign the contract. And qualifying is important.
That's
If
a
you-
good
if-
education,
if you
right?
don't, and
For people
for
watching.
people that do insurance,
That's awesome.
that's the best way to do it, you know.
Yeah.
And then we learned also, they teach us how to say, when people say no to you 3 times,
Yeah.
you learn how to be. It's kind of like reverse psychology.
Yeah.
They teach us how to, when they say no. So say an example, you say no to me with the first time, right? Like,
Yeah. No, I don't think I can afford your price.
you can't afford my price. Oh, okay. So I like your shirt. It's a really nice shirt, man. You know, I like the jeans. It's cool. You know, like.
Oh
And,
man.
like, and you know, that's a cool tablet. So, what do you do for fun if you don't mind me asking?
I'm a jeweler.
You're a jeweler?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I should go check out your company sometime. You know, you're a jeweler.
You should.
You know. So would you be interested in getting insurance with me?
Yeah, if you give me a good price, why not?
Okay, I'll get it at the
Well,
price.
I guess we need it. So
Okay,
yeah.
I'll try to get it for lower than 200. Give me a sec, sir. I'll help you out.
All right.
That's one of the rejections. You see, that's one of
Yeah.
That's one you have to. Only because he said no to me
Yeah.
doesn't mean he doesn't want to buy it. Maybe he doesn't feel comfortable.
Yes.
Maybe he doesn't feel like I'm trustworthy. Maybe I want to do business with him, but I want to also get his trust.
Totally.
So I want to get to learn about him.
Mm-hmm.
Because think about it, if you come walk into my office and you don't know nothing about me,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you want insurance? You want this, sign here, sign here?
Yeah.
Like, no, you have to have that communication with them.
Build trust.
Build that
That
trust.
country, right?
Yeah. After all, your business sounds like it's all referrals too.
Yeah.
When you have a trust, then they're gonna bring their family, their friends, their
Yeah,
cousins,
exactly.
neighbors. Trust is a very important part of your business. Totally. And there's one thing is very important is to agree with the client and then disregard their objection. And yes,
Yeah.
that's how it works. You got that going really good. And
They're gonna say, and there's gonna be times where they're gonna say, I have had clients where they walk away and I don't get them, but then later on they come back, and the reason why is because they go to another company and the company wants to charge them $600, $500 more.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, we're coming back to you. And I try to give them the best price, try to help them out, because you want to help them out, not try to make it bad for them. So there's times where they go to other companies and they're like, oh no, I should go back where I came from. So yeah.
I'm going to ask you this one question. I think it's between your business clientele. How do you deal with that situation, and also your part of your life? How do you handle yourself? Which is like how important are your relationships to your life, and do you consider them valuable more than money? So, like about relationships, like how do you handle yourself?
Something I learned is that you have to have morals, be humble. You gotta be hungry though. Hungry is an important thing. Relationship wise, I think working is important because you need to eat, you need to survive. But technically, money is not happiness, because I've seen people that have money and they're not happy.
Totally,
So
it's not.
It's not. I've seen people that burn money and they're not happy. They have a lot of money, and they're not happy, maybe because the people that they're around with. Their negativity, they could be for many reasons. And
Right.
people think because you have money, you're going to be happy. And no, money is not the happiness. If I had a stable life where I could just have a few income coming in and I had my house paid off and I had a car and I had my little family on the side, I'll be happy with that. I technically don't have to be a multi-millionaire or a rich guy to be happy, Yeah. And some people, they're like, no, you need money to be happy. I'm like, no, money's not happiness. So it's just...
Money is freedom.
Freedom, exactly. Money's
You
freedom.
can do anything you want with that.
Money.
That's very important.
Yeah.
But being broke is not good.
No, it's not good either.
So
That's terribly
so having money and happy is where you want to
be. Exactly. Because being broke, you don't. Well, you know what's interesting? Because there's people out there that do that as a challenge. They go like backpacking and they travel the world.
I have a bunch of friends like that.
And you know what? And I see they'll work in like some side job and they keep traveling and traveling. And then how do you get money to travel? But it's
there are a lot of retreats.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you can go certain countries and then go to those retreats, and you can help them with their land planting and cleaning, and you can stay there with them, and then you can. A lot of these places, a lot of hippies, they go there, and it's all over the place, especially from Canada all the way to Latin America. It's a lot of them.
Yeah,
It's so easy to travel down that way. You know, you don't need much money to go visit to the next destination and live there for a while, see the city, and then go to the next. A lot of people do that.
Yeah, no, it's interesting, and like there's people that do that and they travel and like what the heck, like you know, you're traveling all over the place. You'll be in Guatemala one day, and the next day you're in Mexico, you know, and I think that it's interesting. No, sometimes I said to myself, like, you know, I was like, you know, I should try that sometime, but you know, I not as a as a challenge, you know. I just I want to try it out, like, see how how is that.
You're young enough that you can actually take a break and do that for 2 months. That you would learn so much with that experience. You don't have to do it. But you can do it in that place of you can actually do it. I want to ask you this other question, which is like, I know you've worked in Hollywood industry as a security. You saw what's going on, and when I was talking to you, I understand that your brother's an actor. He's in that environment. You get to go and see the Hollywood celebrity environment, and I don't know if you have a few things to like say about like what happens, how did that happen, what do you experience? Maybe people will like find that interesting.
So the Hollywood industry is really interesting. You don't get to be in that environment unless you're invited to by someone that's in Hollywood, or unless someone's throwing the event. And the way it works is like, my brother's an actor. His name's Johnny Ortiz. He's done a lot of TV shows, American Crime, come out on Disney, and he invites me to those events. That's the only reason why I go to those events, because he invites me. And you can only bring certain amount of people. Like, they'll give you like 2 tickets per person, or sometimes you're like, you know what, you could bring 10 people, and that's it, you know. And when you go to those events, you're meeting different type of people. You're meeting wealthy people, you're meeting celebrities, people in sports, from different industry, you know. If it's not even our famous broadcasters, you know, or like motivational speakers. And when you go there, it's like networking, like, you know, like it's like all networking, you know. Like, you meet like say an example, I met Luis, and like Luis, and we started talking. So what do you do? Like, I'm a broadcaster, and you know, and I'm like, what do I do? I do insurance, you know.
You're gonna need insurance.
You need insurance, you know, like, you know. And then not only that, you meet celebrities, and some people own their own restaurants. So when you go there, you learn so much. You learn about businesses. You learn about there's a lot of loopholes. Like, people open nonprofits, so people won't get taxed. The IRS won't go after them. You learn about the movie industry. Do you know there's a such thing as blacklist? Do you know what a blacklist is?
On movie?
Yeah, on movie actors.
On actors?
Yeah.
Wow.
So technically, there's productions and there's people that film movies, right? So I met 2 different actors. I met Vin Diesel, and I met The Rock.
Nice.
The Rock, nice guy, super humble guy, you know, like really amazing guy.
Wow.
And you meet, you know, Vin Diesel, more kind of like, he's kind of a little sassy, you know. Like, you know, you meet a lot of actors. You meet I met Chuck Liddell, I met Danny Trejo. She's a big YouTuber, Lily Pons. I met Lily Pons. And you know, you learn a lot about them. Like, everyone has like their own little story and how they became famous. And it's interesting because they tell you, like, some of them get treated different. You know, they don't have a private life. They're always, you know, getting their pictures taken. And sometimes they're like, I don't even want cameras on me. Like, I don't want to be famous no more, because, you know, it's too much publicity. They don't have they can't live a normal life no more because they're famous, you know. And the thing about it is that when you go to these events, you meet so much people and business people. But then it gets to a point where, like, I don't want to go to no more events like these, because all the talk is about business and networking and how can you help me out. And, you know, like, they're more about money. Hollywood's more. They're a lot about money.
You gonna sell insurance to those guys?
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah. You gotta sell insurance, but then at the same time,
They
it's
need it as much as we do.
yeah, exactly. So it's
They
like
need a little bit more.
Yeah, and you know when I go to those events, I pass my cards. I'm like, here, I do
Yeah.
insurance. I do insurance, and some of them I get to know. Like I've been hiking with Lily Palms. She's like number 2 YouTuber in the whole world.
That's crazy.
I've been to like Hollywood events where like literally all rich people eating fancy dinners, and there's a big cage and they're fighting, and they're going MMA. Da, da, da. And then for a second I'm like, is this legal? I'm like, is this real and is this legal? Like, and technically it is legal. It's a Hollywood industry. Like, you know, you kind of think about it. And they do have, and they have these events on December. They have this event that I know about the MMA fighters. They have like Freddie Roach and other famous people that go. The ticket to go there is like $1,000 ticket. And you literally eat like shrimp, wine, lobsters.
Yes.
You have your own table, and there's literally people fighting in a cage, and you're surrounded with celebrities and eating, and you're like, and it's funny because when I told my brother like, oh yeah, my brother like, oh yeah, we got invited to an event. It's their each ticket is like $1,000, but the owner of the event invited me. I could bring a guest. And I go and I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I'm like, oh, yeah, there's like MMA fighters, and I was like, oh. But then you think, like, what the heck, like what money could do? Money is power, you know, like
Freedom
power. Too. And then it's kind of, you know, when they film the movies, when I worked at motion pictures, they'll close the streets down. I'm like, oh, could they actually close the streets down? Like, yeah, they have permits. And you know they close the streets down to film the movie, and they could close it for about 2 weeks if they want to. You know, if they have the money, they could close the streets just to film the movie.
How about have you been to red carpet?
Yes, I've been to.
What has you seen there? What was the experience like?
When I go to red carpets, technically, the only ones that are allowed to walk on a red carpet are the celebrities. So, like, if you're an actor or doesn't matter what kind of actor, it's different. There's TV show actors, there's movie actors, and then there's YouTubers. So those are the only ones allowed. It's rare when you walk with. Like,
that's funny how he's saying YouTubers. Like now, YouTubers are like as famous as actors.
Yeah, the reason why.
Insane,
okay,
right?
so this is how it works.
crazy.
YouTubers, they're big influencers, but they make less money. Like YouTubers are like known like worldwide, and also like, but they make the less. The reason why is because they make their money based on YouTube, and people that do movies make more money. And the reason why is because they get residuals. So every time you're watching a movie on like,
I see.
every time you watch a movie you see on TV or a TV show, the actor's just sleeping and you're making him money.
So if we become famous,
you become
make residual.
Yeah, you get residual money. You get residual money, and also for singers it's different. For singers it's royalties. So every time you hear their music, you turn it on the radio, or you say you put it on speaker, or like you bump it on your YouTube.
Totally,
you're making them money.
Well, you know, today someone plays Michael Jackson. They're gonna pay the family.
The family, exactly.
The guy is gone.
Yeah,
you know?
and
yeah, makes sense.
And it's crazy because my brother's an actor, and he's like, the day I die, I leave my residuals to any of my family. He tells me, you know?
Oh,
and I just laugh and like, oh, like, you guys are going to be making my money. So it's kind of, but my brother had a crazy story, man. He, you know, like, he wasn't going the right path, and, you know, he just out of nowhere, he just started doing good, and he had a few wrong investments, and he learned from his failures. He had $1 million and he blew it up like this. And I told him, $1 million. He's like, and then he's like, man, I kind of looked at him like, is it even possible to blow $1 million like that? And it is possible. And I was like, oh, now he's learning. Now he's investing. He has more careful how he spends his money.
Good.
So, you know, and my brother, like, thank God I learned at a young age. Because imagine if I would have learned when I was 30 or like 36 or older, like, oh my God, I don't know where I would have been.
Yeah, my next question, because of that. I know you went to college.
Yeah.
And to learn about money and entrepreneurship, about business. How much today college? How much did you learn? How much of it you're implementing? How much of it your brother was able to implement? How much, like, what do you? We already know what you think about the college a little bit. You just said it earlier, but also this question is about money. It's about investing, about what the college is teaching today.
To be honest, college doesn't teach you how to do your credit, doesn't teach you about real estate, doesn't teach you about insurance. They only teach you on your major. So whatever you're majoring on that's the focus. What their focus. If you're a doctor, that's what they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you medical. If you're criminology, they're gonna teach you criminal justice. But they don't teach you the important stuff. Like
Practical.
Yeah, they don't teach you all the stuff that I had to learn wasn't through college. It was out in the street or by a mentor or someone that I had to learn from, and I was like, okay, I want to do that. How do I do that? Because college doesn't teach you that. Like I'm not saying it's not important. It is important because it opens your mind. Like certain people like Bill Gates, they went to college, but did they finish college? No, they became rich and successful because their mind just opened their mind. Like, whoa! And then the people that created Facebook, they went to Harvard, and what did they finish? No, like business and certain things like credit and like real estate. They don't teach you that in school. They just want to teach you whatever they want to teach you. They don't teach you what you need in order to survive, or they want you to stay at the same level all the time. Be like you're like programmed. Okay, what do? You go to high school. No, you go middle school, high school, go to college, get a job, and then die. That's what they want to teach you. Like they have you programmed. Okay, the next generation, what are they gonna do? Okay, finish high school, got my diploma, college,
make the banks a little bit richer.
Yeah, make more richer. What? Not try something different. Try not going to college. Try focusing on a business that you want to focus on your dream and try to build it up. And you might go a different route, different direction.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, learning about money is completely up to individual to decide to go after to learn about money. There are a lot of courses out there. If you guys want to learn about money, look for courses and then do it, learn about money. If you want to be a great salesperson, there are a lot of courses out there. You can learn about that. There's anything that you want to know, there's out there. It's for you to find and learn and be the better version of you. So my next question is, where does your drive and motivation and hustle and grind comes from?
To be honest, one of the grinds and motivation is I want to give back to my parents what they were not able to give me. Like my parents try to do their best to put me in the best schools. Maybe not the best, but try to do their best to give me all they got, And meanwhile, they're still in this world. I want to give them back and try to make them proud. Not only proud for them, but also proud for myself. And try to grow all the time, become a better person, and show them that I'm thankful that they created someone that's going to teach people around the world, and not only around the world, but make help people make better decisions as they did when they were going through some terrible times. Like my mom had cancer. Did I cry? No, I got up like a champion. Like, let's go. Like what else do you have for me?
Yeah, that's not a good place to be.
Yeah,
my mom is going through stage 4 cancer now, and she's been struggling for a while, yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy,
Yeah,
and
it is what it is. You're gonna take care of your mom.
And the crazy part about it is that when that happens, some people they go into a dark place. They go into later.
Why me?
They go and and that's when you have to be like, get up, and you know you gotta keep going forward and forward and forward and forward. Because if you let that dark place get to you, you're not gonna end up in the world.
It's one of those successes, you know, in life. It's not. We talk about a lot of money success, but
Yeah.
also life success is as important as money, because if you don't succeed in those, you know, in those moments, you failed,
Yeah.
and then it takes a long time for you to come back. By the time you open your eyes, it could be 5 years gone.
Exactly.
You are never going to bring not even 1 second of that 5 year back. So live your life, take care of your situations, and be the bigger man, and you know, just do the right thing, and it'll be all right. So and don't forget to develop your mindset. So you know, that's why.
Yes.
Totally. So next question is, how committed are you to your successes and winnings?
Right now, I'm trying to be as much committed as I try to give it 100 all the time. You know, sometimes it might not go the way I want it to go, because there's gonna be obstacles. You know,
Totally.
the day, like you said to yourself, you don't know what can happen tomorrow,
Yes.
and I don't know what could happen. So I always try to be in the right path and try to do good, and just keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, and not give up. You know, that's one of the biggest things, not to give up. And if you have dreams, you know, you should achieve them. But some people just wanna, you know, they want to sit down and sleep and want their dream to happen. You know, it's not gonna happen.
The name of that is law of attraction.
Exactly. So you gotta work for it. You gotta work
Law of
for
action.
it. Law of action. Exactly.
Everything starts by thought.
Yeah.
You think about it, and then you get up and do it.
Exactly.
Law of attraction, law of action.
Exactly.
They forgot to read the law of action book. Everyone read the law of
No,
attraction.
but that's the law of action. You know,
They forgot to read that. You
and
know,
that's
like,
you
I
know,
don't know.
and that's the most difficult part, doing the action part. You know, like, and it's what's gonna, you know.
Everyone wants to do the easy
Easy
part.
part.
Sit down and dream.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
You gotta do the hard part.
Yeah. You
You
can't
know?
just.
Yep. So yeah, that's. I'm glad we talked about that, and we put that out there for people to sit and actually watch that, because at one point in my life, I remember when the Secret book came out, we watched it, we read it, we believed in it, but nothing was happening. It's like, what the hell's going on? Until we figured out that there's the law of action. Like, yes, we were doing action, but we were doing small actions. But like massive action will make things happen massively.
I agree.
You know, so we have to write the book. Law of massive action. So then
Yeah,
maybe
people pretty much get the law of attraction.
Oh man, I think, did I ask how committed are you to your successes and winnings? I think I did, right?
Yeah, you did. Yeah.
So next is like, what makes you special and different than other people?
You know what? Damn, that's a good question. That's a really good question. You know what? I have friends every time I go out and, you know, they're facing a problem or they're going through something. I feel like I can always help them out. I'll tell them how to try to make them a better person or succeed. You know, like, you know, when they're going through dark places or dark times, I feel that I could help them out in a certain way. You know, it's you know, like some people go through, like, I know one of my friends, his mom passed away and his dad passed away, and you know, like, literally he was only him and his little brother, and I was like, whoa, you know, like, and then he was going downhill, you know, and he would drink, and out of nowhere I was like, you know what, you gotta stop doing that. You used to have your little brother, you know, and he started building himself up, you know, doing really good. He opened his barber shop, now has his own business. He's doing really good. Now bought himself a new car. I think I have a gift in inspiring people. You know, like, a lot of people look out for me, and I have that. Like I inspire them to be a better person. Not to give up in life, to keep going, keep going, keep going. And they ask me, because some of them know some of them know my story, and it's like, how do you do it? How do you do it? Like, how do you not get sad and cry and get depressed? And I was like, I just keep going, man. I don't stop.
Yeah, I just remembered your earlier story where you refused to fail in your high school, and you did that evening classes.
Yeah.
I think that's where you learn
Yeah, I learned.
there is the other way. It doesn't have to be the conventional way only.
Yeah. Yeah.
That could form a person, a personality,
You know what I notice about people that
mindset.
people have this mindset that they're scared to fail. I noticed that people are scared to fail.
Failing.
Failing is really scary for them. You know why? Because they're so stuck in this comfortable zone. They're like, I never fail in my life, and I never will fail in my life.
So no one will tell them,
So
like,
now-
I told you
I
you're
told
gonna
you to
fail.
fail. Exactly. So that's what I notice about people. Like an example, like I tell a certain do this. Like, no, I don't want to do that because I know that I might fail on it, and it's not gonna go the way I want it. I'm like, they're scared to get off their comfortable zone, and once you get off your comfortable zone, that's when you're gonna succeed. But a lot of people are like, no, I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to fail. I'm scared to fail. I'm not gonna, like, they rather not fail because they don't want to get embarrassed.
Right.
They don't want to look bad in front of people.
Right.
You know what? Failure is what makes you stronger.
Oh, definitely. Every time you come back, you're
like you come
always
back
stronger than the last time.
You come back 10 times stronger.
Yep.
Like, it's like I tell people, like, like they see failure as a bad thing, and it shouldn't be that way. Failure is not to fail is not a bad thing, because when you fail, you learn from your mistakes and try to do better the next time, and you achieve what you want to achieve.
So when you're starting your next, when you're starting your own podcast?
That's gonna be a good. To be honest, first I'm trying to build my social media up. Instagram, I have a ton of followers.
I've seen that actually.
And a lot of viewers.
Good.
I started my YouTube channel. I had a good expensive camera, but my sister borrowed it, and she dropped it. She broke it, so I had to get another one.
Well, you can use your cell phone.
Yeah, I could use my cell phone, but I just gotta get a good editing app because I don't have one yet. So I have to download one to my
So
laptop.
you can talk to this
So
guy.
yeah, no, I was thinking of talking. I have my YouTube channel. You know what? When I first started it, I had like 100 views, and I was like,
Not bad.
I was like, I don't know about this, but then I was like, oh, don't give up so. I'm not gonna give up,
Yeah.
And later on, my YouTube channel got like 500, 600 views, and they got like 50 subscribers. And I was like, what? People are actually watching this.
Nice.
But then I kind of stopped because my camera broke, so I have to get back to it. And I do want to keep I'll do like mini skits, funny skits, and some workout videos, and pretty much how to get big. And
Nice.
but now I want to make it into like kind of like what I do for every day of my life.
Yeah.
But I want to change the theme. Play back like once in a while, do skits. Instagram, I have a lot of followers. A lot of people view my stuff on Instagram. I think it's because of fitness. So I'm really big in fitness, so it's like fitness is. They're impressed about how strong I am, and just
In life, whatever it works, you have to double it.
yeah, you have to double it. Yeah.
If that's working for you, then you have to double that, and then use that to bring your inspirations and
just-
Yeah, I think you'll be really good
Thank you.
doing that. Next question. What makes you special, different than people? Okay. How important is to be resourceful, and to network with people? Well, maybe network the people is important also, but the resourceful, like, tell me, how do you do it? Like, what do you do to be resourceful when you don't have the means, the money, or the people, or the product, or how do
Yeah.
you be resourceful?
So I think it's really important networking and resources. The reason why, because every time you meet someone new, you're not only meeting someone new, you're meeting a new friend, and they can help you in some way that other people can help you out. Or like an example, right? Like, say, I want to throw an event, right? And this person's charging me $5,000, and this person is like, it's okay, I got you. I'll show you how to plan it out. And and not only that, I met a friend, and he's helping me, and networking with and resources will help you out, because when you network, you make resources, and they'll help you budget your money and and not spend money. So it's pretty interesting when it comes to resourcing. People think that you need to have a lot of money, but in reality, you don't. You just know how to, like you said it. Well, why you said it yourself? Why get $1,000 camera when you could do it with your phone?
You have to be resourceful.
Yeah, resourceful. You said it yourself. And that's actually correct.
Totally.
You said it yourself.
That's a proof for people that they're sitting home and wondering how they're gonna do what they're gonna do. You have to be resourceful. You have to understand that there's many ways of doing it. You can ask someone to borrow their camera, or you can rent a camera, or if you don't have the money, maybe first you have to go and make your little bit of money to rent something to. You have to be resourceful. You have to make something, create. Like, there's so many stories out there, people that being resourceful. Yeah. I was resourceful when I started my small shop. I didn't have any money. I didn't have anything. I just had some filing, some stuff, and I went and put a table in someone's shop, and I was just like playing with it, making a few $100, and there was not enough money to pay my bills, but that was my my way to slowly find one or two clients, and so I can stop making money and go open my own shop. I was being resourceful. I was using other things to make this thing happen, because I didn't have the money to start.
And that's really smart.
That's crazy. So it's very important to be resourceful in any way. If bicycle is going to do better job than walking, then you have to somehow borrow someone's bike to.
It's like I tell people. Some people sometimes like, oh, my car broke down. They're like, well, if your car broke down, there's a bus, there's a train. You can go walking. Some people get used to alert. Okay, this is a crazy story I'm gonna tell you about. So, I used to date a girl named Chani. The girl is an amazing girl. She had her bachelor's, and she had a business, skincare business. Like, she'll do facials and stuff like that.
Nice.
And I'll tell you how I met her. I met her as a waitress at a strip club. It's a crazy story. When I met her, I was like. Then later on, I went out and I got to know her a little bit, and then we went out to go eat, and I was like, what are you doing here? You have a bachelor's, and then she's like, oh, it's because I don't have enough money. Like, I have a business and I don't have enough money, so I have my bachelor's, but she had her bachelor's in child development, and I was like, wait, you have a bachelor's and you do this on the side as a waitress, and then you have your business? And I was like, you're juggling with too much, And I told her, focus on your business. And you know what?
Such a good thing.
And I was like, focus on your business. Like, and the thing about it is that she didn't have that much clientele. But later on, when she started focusing on her business started growing and growing and growing. And now she's really successful, Like, she's doing really good. And we're friends. And she's out there, and I was like, whoa, she's smart. She did her own marketing. She did, when we go on dates, that'd be cute, because she'll eat like her little cheeseburger. And then the thing about it is that she didn't know how to, she had a business, but she was spending more time in other businesses and focusing on her own business. and now she blew up. She grew her business.
It's so easy not to and to be successful in this time that we're living because of social media and because of what how much you can reach out to people and let them know what you're doing, how you're doing. So that was good that she was tapped into it, and then your advice was like right on point. You need to focus on what you're doing if you want to do better in what you're doing. You cannot focus
too many
things, like, because we have finite of energy anyways when we wake up in the morning. Let me tell you one thing. The reason in the last times when you watch Steve Jobs, when he was on the stage, the reason this guy was wearing black turtleneck and jeans and the same shoes, not because he didn't have money to buy any other shoes or any other turtleneck, but he had many turtlenecks, I hear. And then the reason he was doing that, because in the morning he didn't want to make any decision what he's going to wear. He kept that decision making energy into to make a big decision instead of making small decisions. And you get to work, you're like, oh my God, I already did like 5 decisions. I'm tired. Oh, I have to do the 6th decision, which is like the important one, So there is a reason when you do multiple things, you're making so many decisions throughout the day, and you're burned out. You cannot succeed. So that was a really good good advice for someone. Good observation.
And something I learned also was certain people are built born into certain families with wealthy people, and I've seen this happen a lot. Me as a Hispanic person, everyone's different, different. How they grew up, the way they were raised, the culture. And, for us, it's like my mom and dad, you gotta go work, you gotta go, they gotta work.
Yeah.
And there's people that are born into wealthy family, rich family,
Yeah.
And not every family is like that. Every family is different. And I have people that are born super wealthy, and once your dad and mom passed away,
there's so many stories like that.
And I was like, and I
whose fault is it?
Whose
fault is
it's
it?
the parents. I
Of
think
course.
it's the parents' fault.
Of course.
And the reason why I say that is because they gave them everything. They never had to work for nothing, and they don't. And now think about it. You have all the money, and you don't know how to manage it. You don't know how to where to invest.
Yep.
And they just go down the street. And I had met some girl like that, and she lost everything. She lost everything. And I was like, and she's like, she went from having the best things to eating McDonald's, driving and she was like, I don't know what happened to my life, And I told her, you know what? It's not too late. I told her, it's not too late.
Jesse comes for rescue.
With
the advice.
I literally gave her advice, and she went back up. Not back up to where she was, but back
where she was from the bottom.
Yeah, from the bottom. And you know what? And she's like, you know what? And I told her, imagine if you have, what's more powerful? If you have it, then you lose it, and then you get it back again. That's really powerful,
Awesome.
Yeah.
What are your goals next 10 years? You kind of told us, but after talking all this with you, let me see your answers. What is important also?
What's important?
Your goals 10 years and important.
I think I want to teach people out there to not give up in life, be motivated, not try to have positivity in your life, and the way you do things, when you wake up to the way you sleep, like you said, I have to try that now. Now I gotta wake up and go to the gym early in the morning, because like he said, it's when you're functioning, and he's actually right, because your body is already recovered, and you want to do that. You just every time, every day you're learning. That's something I learned. It's not a day that I don't learn. Like I had last time I came, I had a conversation with you. I was reading about the jewelry a little bit. I was like, oh, okay.
It's exciting.
It's exciting. Like, oh, there's something new I learned today about jewelry.
Life is nice.
Life,
exciting.
It's not about laws or medications or you're just always learning your own.
Everyone has their own way of surviving.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And I have friends that they're in the medical business, law business, and it's interesting, like just the way you learn, and then they teach you certain things, they teach me certain things, and you exchange knowledge. That's what's important, because if you're close-minded, I feel like you won't really go far. The more open-minded you are, and the more you learn, the more knowledge you gain, the farther you're gonna go in life.
In our podcast, Luis knows I always talk about open your ears, focus, close your mouth. That's why we have 2 ears, we have 1 mouth. And when you listen, you take it internal, and then if eventually you'll make sense of this, you understand how you're gonna use it, and then when the time comes, you just do it, and so it's very important. Your teachability index has to be very high, so someone can teach you something, and also your ears has to be sharp to hear someone, not contradict, not stop them, and those are very good qualities to have for someone, and those people, when they have developed those qualities, they always go forward in life, because if it's a skill you're learning, that's what is required. If driving you're trying to learn, that's what is required. Whatever you want to you're going to learn something that to run something, machinery, or your hands, that's what it requires. And the same thing goes to every aspect of our lives, So I already know that you're really good at that, but people, if they're not, this is what it requires. Yeah, from all of us. My next question is going to be your 10 years. You already kind of told us about that. So what will you say to those individuals that have lost hope?
I would say not to give up, and to keep going and keep going and keep going and keep going, no matter what people say, or even if they're negative, or even if it's your own family, because sometimes it'll be your own family that will tell you, you know what, don't do this, don't do that.
What do you say about that? When it's your family, when it's your blood, especially your kind of families. You guys are very tight.
It's crazy, because my brother, he's an actor. He makes good money, and sometimes he'll be like, "No, I don't think that's gonna work," or he'll be kind of negative with me sometimes. Okay, you don't think it's gonna work, but all that.
So what does it take to work? Is the other question.
The other question is
you're dodging it.
Just dodge it and focus on yourself, because sometimes your own family will not have hope on you, or won't believe on you, or they won't or even sometimes your friends, he has a business, he's gonna start a business, and they're not gonna really support you, but they'll support another $1 million company, but they won't support your business, but not to give up, that's one thing, failure is important, because it makes you a stronger person, but just don't give up in life, and you gotta keep going, and eventually, watch, you're gonna do so good that your business is gonna go good, and you're gonna be where you're gonna want to be. It might take, it might not go well the first year, it might not go well the second year or third year, but say fourth year, man, you blow up.
Totally. So I agree with that. That's easily it can happen, and it's very powerful to stay positive and focus, because you never know when you're gonna meet someone, when the market's gonna turn your way, or when you're gonna hit a certain product that you're gonna just make 10 times more. It's all about 10xing,
It's like I tell some people that do also YouTube or music videos, or whatever they do, like they're like, like they put music out there and say this guy has about 500 videos of music, and like damn, like I put so much out there, Well, I seen people do like about 2,000, and then out of nowhere they hit 2001, and that one song blew up, and now they're famous. It's just
What do we hear?
huh?
Overnight success.
Exactly.
They forget that this guy went through 2,000 failures until that one
video
overnight success.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And-
right.
and it just takes that one right time. That
Totally,
one,
yeah.
to it just,
Not to give up is pretty
Pretty
much,
much, yeah.
the motto. So we're on the last question before I'm gonna ask you to like tell your social media and everything out there for people, whatever you want to put out. Since the podcast is Develop Your Mindset, I'm gonna ask you the last question is, how do you develop your mindset?
How do I develop my mindset? One of them is by learning every day, and I like to read books. There's different books, but sometimes I read about like Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Nice.
We'll see, the real estate, how the real estate, the stock market works out. I don't get to finish it all, but I try to finish as much and gain as much knowledge as I can. But I also learn from people, like people might be in certain situations that I haven't been in, and I might learn something from him, so I won't be in that situation, But sometimes people are like, "Nah, I think I know what I'm doing," and then when they fail, they're like, "Oh, I didn't know what I was doing. Now I know what I'm doing." So it's that's how I develop my mindset, and then I go to the gym, I work out. And I try to be a positive person every day, like every day, just try to be better than I was yesterday. And, I also like to give back to the people sometimes, like if I could help them out in a certain way or, try to be there for them, I will, not everyone will do that, but there's people that do, and I'm one of those people that I try, if I could make it happen, then I will make it happen. And if I can, I can. I will give the most I can out of my heart to try to help someone.
That's why you're gonna be successful. When you give, you will receive. That's pretty much it. So thank you so much being our guest. Your story is amazing. I enjoyed hearing and learning from you. And where can people find you to learn more about what you're doing in the future? You can tell the camera.
Okay. So on Instagram, you can find me at Wolfboy Jesse. And on Snapchat, you can find me at Jesse Ortiz 1234.
Awesome. And Luis,
Yes,
it's your time.
it's my time.
Closing.
All right, so thank you very much for being here, for tuning in once again. It was really this was a very special podcast for me actually, because I'm having Jesse here. It's actually been quite a while. For those of you who don't know, I went to high school with him, and it had been like a few years since we didn't really talk. And then at the time when we were at high school, we didn't really talk either.
We were all shy.
Yeah, I was more of a shy, quiet, introvert type of guy, and I still am, but I can express myself a little bit better now. But yeah, I mean, it was really exciting to have you here, man. I really learned a lot from your story, and I'm sure the viewers learned a lot from you as well, and they're gonna take a lot from this podcast. And who knows, you might help one person out there who's struggling right now with their lives. They're going through some hardship, and I'm pretty sure that by hearing your story, now they'll be able to, come out of that and know that there's still hope for them. It's possible. You just gotta take action, like you said. Stop the law of attraction and start taking more action. And yeah. And as far as like social media goes, of course, I'll leave all the links down below. But we are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, LinkedIn, and of course, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the bell icon so you guys get notified when a new podcast episode comes out, or any of our jewelry little small videos where we educate you on jewelry and let you guys know like the insider tips of what goes behind the scenes in the jewelry industry. And yeah, I mean, it was really exciting to have you guys here.
Awesome. All right, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. We appreciate you guys. This is Develop Your Mindset podcast. And we'll see you next time. Thank you and thank you.
Develop your mindset.